The Shanghai International Circuit is ready to welcome Formula One after an absence of 5 years, and this weekend will host the 5th round of the 2024 F1 Championship, the Chinese Grand Prix. Due to the well-known circumstances related to COVID-19, the Chinese Republic has repeatedly cancelled the event after hosting the 1000th Grand Prix of the top category of motorsport. Following this prolonged absence, in the upcoming weekend, we will see different cars compared to those that hit the track back in 2019. These are factors that, combined with the sprint race format, describe the Eastern scenario as one of the most difficult in the first part of the 2024 Formula One season. In particular, one fact should be emphasized. As many as 5 drivers have never seen the Chinese racing track, and the experienced drivers have raced with cars completely different from today's. Therefore, the teams do not have a lot of useful data in order to evaluate the ideal configuration and setup for the Shanghai weekend. This is also due to the limited time available to test the cars, considering there is only 1 hour of free practice available. The Chinese Grand Prix therefore becomes a very important weekend in terms of the correlation between simulators and the track that will help us understand which teams will arrive on Friday with their homework well done. Scuderia Ferrari will once again have the opportunity to close the gap with Red Bull, thanks to a circuit that should adapt very well to the characteristics of the SF24, especially compared to the previous round at the Suzuka circuit. The Maranello team's car is skilled in high-speed corners and has significantly improved in tire management compared to the past Formula One season. Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz, moreover, will be able to count on good aerodynamic efficiency, as demonstrated by the data collected on track at the Suzuka circuit during the recent trip to Japan. The Shanghai International Circuit unfolds over a total length of 5,451 meters and consists of 16 corners, 9 right and 7 left. The race will be developed over 54 laps, for a total of about 305 kilometers, while in the F1 sprint, drivers will cover 18 laps. The multiple high-speed corners, combined with the continuous start and stop sections where traction is required, indicate that the probable strategy for Sunday will be a 2-stop strategy. Pirelli brings to China the same compounds as 5 years ago, opting for the central range of its tires: C2 hard, C3 medium, and C4 soft. The engineers of the various teams will try to optimize the setup of the cars between performance on straights, reducing slip angle with a high quantity of fuel on board, and absolute performance in corners. These are difficult and different equations, for which it is almost impossible to identify a single solution that can satisfy the car's setup purely from an aeromechanical point of view, especially considering the limited amount of data available in the hands of technicians and engineers. During the push lap, cars cross the finish line at a speed just below 300 kilometers per hour, with drag reduction system open. Turn 1 is the most complicated, but at the same time seems quite open to interpretation, allowing for different but effective driving lines to be chosen. By analyzing the telemetry data collected from the last time Formula One raced in Shanghai, back in the 2019 championship, we can see that drivers use the brake and accelerator in the way that suits them best, and choose different trajectories as mentioned. In general, however, the apex is found at the beginning of the curb, and only near the apex do drivers start to brake. We are talking about a period of about 7/8 seconds in full load that significantly increases tire temperatures. Therefore, in the warm-up strategy, it will be very important to prepare the tires more on their inner part through braking, keeping the carcass temperature below the ideal window. Similarly, in turn 3, the apex is anticipated to press the gas pedal as early as possible. Subsequently, the entire width of the track is used on the exit to reach the highest speed on the straight towards turn 6. At the beginning of the central sector, drivers brake at the 100-meter sign, reducing the speed of the Formula One cars by about 200 kilometers per hour and taking the apex of the bend. On the exit, mechanical grip at the rear and the hybrid's traction force are exploited. Then begins the section comprising the fastest corners of the Shanghai circuit. Turn 7 could be taken flat out, with drivers enduring high lateral G-forces before using the brake, with a slight steering angle, before turn 8. The minimum speed at the center of this corner is around 180 kilometers per hour, and drivers struggle with acceleration with a light rear end close to oversteer. Turn 9 again requires an early apex. The main goal is to control understeer as much as possible, mainly due to overheating tires. On the exit, drivers seek a steering angle as linear as possible, allowing them to tackle turn 10 in a single solution. With the braking for turn 11, the final sector begins. Drivers press the brake pedal at the beginning of the curb, on the right, corresponding to the sign indicating 100 meters. The cars slow down by about 200 kilometers per hour, and it's important to have a car capable of changing direction smoothly and not too stiff to handle turn 12. On the exit, one must control a car first, understeering and then oversteering. The accelerator must be pressed as soon as possible in order to tackle the straight of about 1.2 kilometers leading to the braking for turn 14, the most demanding of the Chinese Formula One circuit. To slow down the car, approximately 250 kilograms of pressure on the brake pedal is required, resulting in a total deceleration of about 5.5 g. Braking starts at 120 meters before the corner, reducing the wing car's speed by 250 kilometers per hour in less than 3 seconds. On the exit, the apex is taken, and it's necessary to control the rear, which easily becomes oversteering. As the Chinese Grand Prix weekend approaches at the Shanghai International Circuit, the Formula One community awaits the event amidst concerns regarding track conditions and the complexities of the sprint format. Scuderia Ferrari team principal Frédéric Vasseur expressed his apprehension, labeling the tarmac as his biggest question mark for the Shanghai weekend. With F1 not having visited the circuit in China since 2019 due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the absence of recent data on track conditions compounds the uncertainty. Adding to the complexity, tire manufacturer Pirelli has been unable to send engineers to assess the circuit, which has seen minimal use lately. Frédéric Vasseur emphasized the significance of practice sessions in gathering essential data on the track, but acknowledged the lack thereof. He highlighted the unfamiliarity with the 18-inch tires and the colder forecast, further complicating the situation. Vasseur emphasized the significance of practice sessions in gathering essential data on the track, but acknowledged the lack thereof. He pointed out the unfamiliarity with the 18-inch tires and the colder forecast, further complicating the situation. The French manager remarked that they didn't know the roughness of the tarmac, which he considered crucial for the Chinese weekend. The Ferrari team principal expressed his belief that it would be a challenging situation, but noted that if everyone faced the same difficulty, they would all be in the same boat. He mentioned that the biggest question mark for him would be the tarmac due to the track layout. Additionally, he stated that compared to the last event, they were likely to encounter colder conditions. The return of Formula One to the Shanghai International Circuit after a 5-year hiatus coincides with the introduction of the sprint weekend format. This development has sparked serious discussions among drivers and pundits. Max Verstappen has voiced his concerns over the lack of track familiarity and setup time for the new generation of cars. As teams and drivers, just like the fans, brace themselves for the challenges ahead, the Chinese Grand Prix weekend promises to be a collective test of adaptability and resilience in the face of shared uncertainty.